Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, today we're going to be talking a little bit about feeding. Not specifically how to feed, but what to feed with. Now of course, pretty much everybody has got a catapult, especially back in the UK, but in some countries they're banned. And also you have to think about people with slight disabilities, people like me with the arthritis in the thumb joint, and so sometimes a catapult isn't the answer, and sometimes this is the answer. Anyone ever seen one of these? This is a throwing stick, or a baiting stick, shall we say. If you're a specimen angler, you've probably seen these. Usually a long tube, put your boilies in the end, and then wang them out a long way. And that's all it is. This one's my own 3D printed design. It's nothing special, but let me just show you how it works. All you do, oh, by the way, there's a little reference point here, so when you put your hand on it, you know that you're in the right position, rather than sort of like that. So pick it up, put it in, get as many or as few as you want. It just goes into this little sort of pot here, and there we go. Simple as that. Now, the good news is, with this, on a decent day, I mean, we've got a bit of a crosswind today, you can probably get, oh, I don't know, 15, 16 meters with this sort of thing with ease, with 4mm pellets. Obviously 6mm and larger, you'd get further. But it's a great way of doing it one-handed. So, as you know, I fish with a pole like this. I haven't got any bait on at the moment because I've already just caught a fish when I didn't mean to, and the rod had pulled round, but that's another story. So anyway, I fish it like this on the rest because of the arthritis. It gives me jip. And so for if you have got arthritis or any other sort of issues with your hands, it may be that you can't necessarily hold the catapult too well to do it. So this, I find, it doesn't stretch my hand out too far, because that's when I get the pain, but just doing that is a simple one-handed exercise. The other thing is, if you're fishing shallow and spraying feed out there on a regular basis, you can be holding the rod and just grabbing the feed and feeding right on top of where you're fishing. Now that's at 11 meters at the moment, and that's dead easy. Now I should say right at the outset, if you've got a big wind in your face, this isn't going to work too well, but in the same way as a catapult, it's going to be going pretty much all over the place. But on a reasonable day, this little device here it's certainly a go-to for me. Now you don't have to just use pellets in it. You can use corn or maggots or whatever, and you can even use balls of ground bait. So if I take some ground bait, this is my little punch that I've used in the past. I've done a video on this. I'll punch out a bit of ground bait, and let's actually give this a bit more of a chuck, way past where I want to be, but there we go. It's probably, I don't know, 25 meters or so. So if you want to aim ground bait out there, you can do it. Now, I do have another one of these, obviously slightly bigger, and you just unscrew this device here and then put the new one on. This one will take slightly bigger balls of ground bait and obviously larger amounts of bait if you want to. But what I've also done, I've got this beastie. Now that's what you call a ground bait thrower, isn't it? This one I think I made to 50mm in diameter, so that you put your ball in and you can give it a good wang out there. And the good news is that with this device, you don't get the breakup in the same way as you might if you used a catapult. But I don't use a catapult anyway for it, so I just use this and get it out there just like that. I'll show you how I get on, but if you really want to know how to make one of these things, I'll put the STL file for the 3D printer people up onto Thingiverse in the next week or so, and you should be able to just literally download this and print it. This is just a 10mm piece of hollow aluminium tube, and this piece here is just held on with a screw because glue doesn't work too well with this one. The bottom one here I haven't actually glued in, I don't think. No, see, you can actually turn it a little bit, so if you do get this slightly off center, you can actually put it back to correct again. But because it goes all the way down there, you're not going to lose it. You can just wang it out there, as you see. So that's what I use for getting bait out there on a normal day like today. And so now I'm going to get back to doing what I was going to do in the first place and do some fishing. Super, start recording. This one didn't take off too fast. Pole's burning my hands. There's no wind at the moment. Wow. I'm using a 14 elastic, the slick stuff. Keep out of all this stuff down here. Could this be quite a big one? I've literally just been feeding the swim, just little nothing. A few pellets every couple of minutes or so. I think this one could be reasonable, but got a lot of snags down there. He's very slow, which is often an indicator of a decent fish. Hands are burning. You get a little bit of breeze, it's not too bad, but when the breeze goes, ow. Alright, come on fish. Seems to want to stay down that side, and that's where all the snags are, of course. Guaranteed that though, isn't it? Let's see if we can get him going this way a little bit so we're out of the way, and I'll see if we can get some elastic in. Very slow fish. I think if he'd taken off at any kind of real speed, I'd have had an issue. I don't even think he knows he's hooked. That tree just down to my left, don't know if you can see it there. Broken old tree. Oh, it's a decent fish, that. Well, he didn't fight that well, did he? Compared to the usual ones. Flies as well. Oh, he woke up then though, didn't he? He thought, hang on a minute. What's occurring then? Oh yeah, that's a decent fish. Oh, I'll show you this one, and I think we're going to weigh him. I mean, we've got to be in the 10 pound or more range, I reckon. Huge, great big mouth. Let's see if we can do this over the net so we don't have any issues. Look at that. Isn't he lovely? Landing net weighs £1.3. Flies 0. And we've got £11 7 ounces, so that's what, £10 4 ounces. Well, that's not a bad fish for technically the first fish. You didn't see the first one, of course, because I had it before I started recording, but that's a nice fish. Right, I'm going to get back in there and do some more. Sometimes you could do with a bit of a breeze, it's just too hot at the moment. I know you guys back in the UK are all freezing, but yeah, we get our winter when you get your summer, and the other way around. Same as before, just a few pellets. And put a few bits of corn in too. Cool. What we got? Different kind of a fight. Probably a small one, I think. Oh, we've got the horses coming to see us down there. Yeah, I think this is a pretty small one. Well, I'll say small. Probably coming up £3. Oof, woken up now, hasn't he? Come on, fish. You can give up now. Every time. Right. Come on, fish, this time. There we go. Actually, I think he's a bit bigger than I first thought. He's probably about, oh, I don't know. Yeah, 3.5. Actually, might even be 4. So, that's another fish. And we now seem to be getting them coming on quite well. The feeding pattern, of course, is exactly the same as normal. It's just the method of doing it that's different. Yeah. It's just reminded me of Bill Allen's old channel. Nice old fella. Called Easy Fishing. And that's exactly what this is. It's a shame he's not still around. Poor old guy. I used to enjoy his channel. It is still around, actually. If you want to have a look, just type in Easy Fishing on YouTube and you'll find Bill's channel. I think all the videos that he did are still there. He did a lot of canal fishing. And he didn't really do commercials at all. And I think a lot of people appreciated that, especially those of us that are somewhat older, that were around before commercials arrived. Come on, fish. Plenty now. Okay folks, well, I think that's enough to show you how this thing works. You don't have to have a 3D printer to make one of these things if you want to. You can always go down to the local DIY shop, buy a length of that white PVC pipe. I think it's plumbing pipe or pressure pipe or something like that. It comes in all kinds of diameters. All you do, take a hacksaw, cut it off, just like that. Bung up the end there with a piece of dowel rod or even the end of a broomstick, something like that. Again, use your hacksaw just to cut off these pieces here. If I just take this off for a second. You don't really need to have this on, but I've got it on because I was able to use the 3D printer. Make yourself a little bit like that. It can be round or it can be square, it doesn't have to be. Mine has teeth on it, but there you go. Put it on and then just either glue it in place, something like about 15, maybe 20 degrees of angle on here, and that's about right. The handle, as I said, I already got from the DIY shop, and that was 10mm hollow aluminium. And again, with this sort of thing, handlebar grip, something like that. I'm sure you can find something to make this up, but you can make this without it being 3D printed. And if you want to have a single-handed weapon to get bait out there, this is the kid for the job. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, you can do that too. And until the next time, bye for now.